to another episode of the Peelerz podcast where we discuss the nitty, the gritty, and the pretty side of stripping. Here with your main host, Krella Kraken, and today I have...
Dani Baggins.
Dani Baggins. You're not going by your old name anymore.
No, I have retired the Yazmin Swallows name.
My first retired stripper on here.
Really?
I think I'm gonna be such a bitch if I'm forgetting someone. I'm pretty sure. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. But
Yeah.
we can talk about the old times, right?
Oh, absolutely. Those are like my glory days, the best times.
The best times.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever come back?
I don't think so as of right now, but maybe in the future, but it would be far down in the future.
Far down in the future.
I just really miss being on stage mostly.
Yes. I wish that we could just take that single part away from the job and just do that.
Right?
That's
Not have
the
to sell
dream.
dances? Yeah.
Just leave after your last show, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Feel
That
like
would
a
be
famous
dream.
person.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Have to be escorted out the back by security with like a tarp covering you.
It feels like that sometimes because you'll try and leave the smoking pit and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
your tattoos. Your tattoos. I'm like, fuck, shut up.
It's always the tattoos.
Yeah. I have a million questions about your tattoos that I'm not even going to listen to you about. I just want to talk about
I was
mine.
thinking I would get this done, and I think, what do you think about that? And it's like, I don't fucking care.
Would you get tattoos? I'm about to answer, and they'll be like, "Cause look, I'm thinking about getting
Yeah.
and you're like, cool,
Yeah, or tattoos don't even really hurt. They have like a flower on their leg.
yeah, or
Yeah.
4 words on their ribs.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. How? That's a 4-minute tattoo, and you fell asleep
Yeah.
as soon as the needle touched.
When I got a full sentence, not to brag or anything, on my ribs, but I was literally trying everything in the book to try to get through that. I was cussing, I was doing the ABCs, I was moaning, I was screaming, it was bad.
Aww.
I was like,
Oh, good times getting tattooed. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So for the viewers who don't know you, can you explain who Yazmin is and why Yazmin isn't Yazmin anymore?
Yeah, for sure. Yazmin Swallows was my dancer name. I think I started dancing when I was 20 or 21. I'm 28 now. And I started out as a shooter girl, and then...
Did you?
Yeah, I worked as a shooter girl at Shade and at St. Pete's. This was a while back.
Wow.
So remember, because then I was working at that daycare, and I
Yep.
lost my job, and then I got a job at the strip club as a shooter girl.
How'd you lose your job at the daycare? I gotta know.
Oh, 2 of the kids got pulled, and we didn't have enough kids
Oh.
to keep it
You're
going.
gonna be
there.
I swear it at the kids.
Oh God, no. Under my breath, maybe.
You don't fucking shit.
Yeah. So then I started working as a shooter girl, and I just loved seeing the girls on stage. I just thought that you guys were so mesmerizing, and I was like, I can do that. I'm gonna do that. So I got a pole from Spencer's, and I started. Hey, that's the only kind of pole I've ever had.
The infamous Spencer's pole, and a lot of girls do use that.
Yeah, and so I used that, got self-taught, and then I eventually decided I was going to start freelancing first till I could buy my first pair of stage shoes and stuff. And my dancer name was Yazmin Swallows. I put my name in a Google translator, for Google make my stripper name.
What happens if ChatGPT? What happens if you ask her?
I don't know. This is long before ChatGPT was even a thing. I feel so old saying that.
Oh my God. What would my stripper name be? Can't she just Google my name and should find that out?
I don't know. I'll ask mine too. Mine's name is Nova.
How about Velvet Saint? That's kind of Crucifix Kitten.
Crucifix Kitten?
Holy Glimmer. Cardio Vixen?
Cardio Vix. That sounds like a gym.
Yeah, sounds like a goth gym.
Yeah.
Sinister Sin. Wow, how does she know this about me?
Right?
That I like crosses and stuff. Oh, I guess I've told her once.
Okay, let's see what I got. Cupcake Rose Gold. Luna Canceria.
What? I guess, because you're a Cancer.
Yeah, I think she knows that about me. Yazzie Highland. Duchess Dani. Velvet Baggins.
Velvet Baggins.
Baggins.
Everyone would think that you're related to Zach Baggins.
Zach Baggins. Yeah, people are gonna think I'm from the Shire. That's kind of the whole Baggins point. People actually think that's my last name.
That Baggins is?
But yeah, it's been Baggins for so long on social media.
It's not Baggins?
No.
Well, I know like your real
Yeah.
name, but I didn't like you have other families.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you did have like that other name.
Yeah, I do. I do have like I had my original last name from when I was born, and then I had my name changed when I was in foster care, and now I just go by Baggins.
Ah. Is there a reason that's Baggins, or are you just a big fan of Zach Baggins?
Big fan of Lord of the Rings. And I used to work in a junior high school and a daycare, and I didn't want any of the students finding my digital footprint by
Yes.
using my real name. So yeah, I put my name in a stripper name generator, and I got Sparkle Swallows. And I looked could you imagine? So I looked over at my cat, Yazmin, and I was like, ain't nobody fucking calling me Sparkle. But I was like, Swallows, that's funny. And then I looked at my cat, I was like, Yazmin Swallows. And she was born.
And she was born. Was your cat like, what the fuck?
I think he's always like, what the fuck?
Yes, he's a boy.
Yeah, okay, we didn't know when we first got him because we thought he was a girl. He had the world's tiniest little balls. So small. And then it was the third vet that I took him to. They like puffed it apart. They're like, you see that? Those are balls right there. And I was like, we have a boy.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, so, but he's as handsome as ever. So he just goes by Yazzie now, which is where I got my Instagram handle because I have two cats, one named Yazzie and one named Baby. So my Instagram is Yazzie Baby.
Clever.
Cat strippers, right?
Cat strippers, yeah. I know there's a few girls who have their stripper names. I'm doing this wrong. Their stripper names are their pets' names, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
So-
Alexis Purrs and stuff like that.
I like Purr. So I was dancing for quite a while. I started out at St. Pete's, and I was like much too shy to go anywhere else. Because I think one of the very first times we ever met, you were there for one of my shows when I was in the shower, right?
Yes, you were dressed as Prince, I believe.
Oh my god, that was one of my favorite costumes ever.
Yeah.
I came out to Prince music. I felt so ahead of my time because I was like 21 and I was dancing in a Prince costume. I was like, look at me, I'm an old soul, like trying to be relatable to all the old guys, like. So I started out on that journey, and then eventually I started to get comfortable to go out. And I think my first time working at Shade was with you, was it not?
I believe so.
Yeah, you convinced
JP was
me.
trying to get you there forever.
Yeah, and I was too scared. I didn't think I was good enough.
That's honestly, a lot of people think that just because they see like the stripper Olympics girls there, but there's like everyone in between, and you are what I would consider a stripper Olympics girl as well.
I totally choked in the Stripper Olympics, though.
You got that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think you did good. I think you just were on a really tough day. Weren't you with like two major competitors and
Yeah, big time. And then, yeah, I still have the scar from when I cut my finger open on stage.
I feel like we've all done that during a competition.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really should have gotten stitches, but oh well.
By the curse.
So I did that, and eventually I started working the whole circuit, like going to Kelowna. We went to Kelowna.
Yes, you were posting all those TikToks.
Yeah, I was only able to save so many before my account blocked me.
Yeah. She got hacked. There's a hack bug going around. If you don't know what a hack bug is, it's when someone hacks for the purpose of hacking others.
It's like a plague, and I started it. I feel so bad. But anyways, so I was able to get a few. Worked in like Grand Prairie with you, Fort Mac, Edson. We did Edson more than once.
Times, yeah, because I have multiple videos of me
Oh my
scaring
God,
you
yeah.
multiple times.
This woman, I swear to God, she just appears out of nowhere.
Well, no, I'd wait. You'd
You'd wait? Yeah. Oh yeah, the beginning of the videos, you're just standing there like, hee hee.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna go poop. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go hunker down for half an hour and wait for Yazzie to come out of the room.
Hot girls have IBS.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started working the circuit, and then towards the end of my dancing journey, you know, I was really up there. Like I'd had my stage price upped. I was learning aerials, like hoop and silks. My water show to this day, I still feel like was my
forte.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
For sure, like the wet shows. It's probably because I'm a cancer.
And I do think that wet shows, like, everyone's always like, fire's so scary, fire this, fire that, because you always do it right before your wet show. And I tell girls all the time, I'm like, do a longer fire show and do a shorter wet show, because they're like, oh, 4 minutes for a wet show. I'm like, halfway through, you're going to have nothing to pour on yourself because it's not a shower. You have buckets of stuff. And you go, because you have 2.5 minutes left. And you're like, oh, I already humped and grinded. Now what do I do?
Yeah, right? So it's really good. Like, I found even, like, I used a kiddie pool on stage for the Stripper Olympics. And even me, like, I found it was kind of like, I didn't know what to do, but I think I paced it out pretty good. But I also, incorporated a little bit of choreography in there. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, so you practice in the pool and you kind of have a dance to go with. That way you're not just like raw dogging it up there.
Yeah. And
kind of helps. But even I was like, it was a lot. But who was it? Was it Bella that had that shower?
Serena had a shower. Sydney had a shower. I don't know. There's been so many years. I don't know.
Oh, the year I was in, yeah. But there was like a full working shower and I thought that was the coolest.
Was I competing in your year?
I think, no. No, because you helped with my show. You were the grandma.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I wasn't in my own show, though.
But were you the winner that year? Didn't you crown? Or did you win that year? No, because you did,
Tiger King?
Tiger King.
Tiger King? Yeah.
I think, it was Tiger King.
Oh, barf.
Yeah.
So funny. I have to send him messages to prison. Try and get him on the podcast. It'd be hilarious.
Who? Oh, the Tiger King?
Yeah.
Dude, shut up. That would be so sick.
Right? Just like, I did a whole stripper show for you.
Oh my God. Right? Yeah. Iconic. But yeah, so then towards the end of my dancing journey, I kind of started battling a little bit with like a chronic illness, as well as I had met somebody and I fell in love. And so that kind of pulled me away from the industry. And then towards the end, I started to really struggle with substance abuse.
Mm-hmm. I believe that comes super easy with our job when we can be on substances at work and we're also making fast money and we have short hours.
Absolutely. And it's so easy. There's lots of girls that warned me in the beginning, but there was also a lot of girls that I was friends with that were just total bar stars. And I was also one of the type of dancers where I made my money partying, right? Like I could drink. So like I drank with the customers.
Yeah.
I could hold my liquor very well. And then it just takes more and more and more liquor when you're doing it every single night.
Yeah.
So then when I met my now ex, you take away the club and the money and the outlet, and you're just left with substance. And that was my downfall, because what we call, like in the program, is, harm reduction. So when I was a dancer, even though I was like partying every night, I was still getting up the next day and tending to my life. I was still paying my bills. Mm-hmm. I had my own apartment. Then I'd go to work and, drink off the hangover or whatever. But I was still actually being productive in my life. With dancing taken away, I had nothing to do that I loved.
So when you say dancing taken away, you mean it was him who made you quit?
Yeah, it was a bit of a mutual decision. Like, there was a part of me that felt like I had to, because we started to get serious. And I knew that it made him uncomfortable, but he also wanted to be like, he didn't want that narrative of me putting it on him.
When they kind of convince you?
Yes.
Have you ever had
but it's your idea.
Yeah. Have you ever had a man convince you, like, not to be friends with someone and, like it's your idea? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that manipulation's whack.
Yeah, right? And so at the beginning, I was like, more than happy to leave the industry. I was thinking that, it's not for me anymore. Like, I'm ready to start a new life. I'm ready to settle down. I was not anywhere near or ready or mature enough to try to change the course of my life like that. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't dancing anymore, and that was like my love, my passion. I was on that stage. I just was a star. I loved it up there. I felt so good about myself. And then so I didn't have that. And then, I'm struggling with substance abuse and trying to deal with that with a partner that didn't really think I had a problem at first. So there was a lot of denial there on both of our parts, right?
Yeah.
And then, not really seeing my friends very much or seeing my ex either. He was not around very much. Working out of town, going out with his friends, showing up late. Very isolated. So at that point, I felt like I'd burnt bridges. I didn't have the energy to go out and do anything sober, or I was too messed up to show up because everybody would know. So it just turned into me sitting by myself so often. Mm-hmm. And then I just was alone, and I was begging for the bare minimum from this guy. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to throw slander on him at all, because I can take accountability for the part that I played in that relationship.
He was also a dick, though. Fuck that bitch.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever gonna see this. So, but I can take full accountability that I was pretty shitty, especially towards the end of my addiction, when I finally went to rehab, went to detox, all that. And then towards after we broke up, I was able to recognize I was pretty toxic, especially when I was really deep in active addiction. Mm-hmm. Just lying, sneaking, hiding bottles. He'd find it and I'd be like, what? That's crazy.
But you also got put in that situation too, where he was lying to you about certain things. And I've been in relationships like that where it's well, he's done me dirty, so
yeah, right.
It's okay for me to do it, it's toxic as fuck, but it's also you're kind of cornered.
Yeah, and I'm a really affectionate person, mm-hmm. very much so. I have all the love languages, and I love to spend time together. I love to be touchy-feely.
Slut.
So what?
As in slut?
I thought you fucking farted. I was like, oh God, easy. I'm making your stomach turn. But yeah, so when somebody, and this is what it felt like from my perspective, was he was withholding affection as a form of punishment, is what it felt like from my point of view.
Yeah.
And being somebody who loves to be spoiled with love and attention and gifts and everything, especially when I'm putting in my side, I'm making your lunch, I'm writing little notes every single day, I'm putting it down, and I'm always telling you that I'm proud of you and that, you're doing good things and that you're handsome, but not receiving that. Mm-hmm. I got to a point where I had to ask, am I pretty? Or you'd be like, you look nice. And I'm like, okay, obviously I own a mirror, but the fact that I can get complimented and hit on by literally everybody except my boyfriend is a very isolating feeling. Mm-hmm. So yeah, then you act out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's when, you're taking accountability for your part, but it's called being driven insane for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I literally was driven insane. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. So when guys are like, oh, she was crazy, I'm like, you made her crazy. I don't believe anyone's fucking crazy. I do know a few girls who are pretty off the rocker most of the time.
Yeah.
But I know you well, and that takes some time to drive someone crazy.
Mm-hmm. Because I ended up straight to the loony bin.
Straight to the loony bin.
Straight to the loony bin.
Was there padded walls?
No, but I did get grippy socks.
Did you get a straight jacket?
No.
Restraints of any kind?
No. It was kindergarten. Seriously, it was all fluffy. I was just in my pajamas all day coloring, napping.
That's awesome.
There was some people in there that were okay, but I was in the lesser unit. So it was people that were just kind of there for BPD, those kind of things. Not the locked unit down the hall.
Yeah, those are the crazies.
The real crazy.
The real crazy. The real crazy.
They're not very yummy for you.
So now you're living in a sober establishment, a sober house?
Yes. So I'm living right now in, it's what's called secondary level treatment. So I was at Henwood, which is your first step of rehab. I was there for about 3 weeks, and then I had relapsed during the breakup. Mm-hmm. I'm moving all my stuff out of this place that we got together that was supposed to be our home, that we never ever made into a home ever. It was sad. And so then he left and went to Vancouver, and I was just there by myself again and packing up all my stuff, and I relapsed hard. So then I went back to Henwood, and then I was there for about 7 weeks waiting to get into this secondary treatment. So I live in a house, and it's all women. There's 12 of us, and it's a 3-month program.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. We do programming during the day, like, you know, trauma therapy, group therapy, communication, assertive boundaries, like all the kind of stuff that you need to be ready to go back out into society as a healed woman.
Yeah. As a healed woman.
I am a healed woman.
How was the sweat lodge?
The sweat lodge? I thought I was gonna die. And apparently it's not even like it's not even like the hottest version, but I didn't like trip out or anything like that. Like I was expecting some like big spiritual awakening, but it was like crazy. And the cookam that did it with us, she was like, if you feel like you're too hot, she's like, lay down on Mother Earth. Mother Earth will cool you down. Go back to your mother, because they say that when you're in that sweat lodge, you're back in the womb. That's why you come out and you're wet like a baby. Dude, I'm serious. These are the teachings. So without a doubt, I'm dripping and I'm like, I can't breathe. You breathe out and it's like cold, and then you breathe and it's hot. So I laid down in like the fetal position on the earth, and it literally was cold to the touch, I swear. It was I believe insane. Yeah. And then, you know, we had all the rocks, and then, you know, I brought, what's the word? When you give to take.
Sacrifice?
Thank you for your sacrifice.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I do it on
an offering.
Yes, cemeteries and stuff. I do it all the time.
Yeah, so I brought like an offering for tobacco, and gave it to the Creator, and my prayers were for my cats. So everybody had to pray for my cats during these hard times. They're being so brave while mommy's away.
Yeah, 3 months isn't long though. How far are you through the program?
I graduate in September, so I went to detox in April. So from April until September, I'm straight through treatment.
Oh, yeah. Do you feel confident for when you leave?
I do. Actually, I'm starting to feel a little bit restless. You know, being in, like, counseling growing up and as a teenager and as a kid, and being to Henwood and being to the psych ward already before, I do already have a lot of knowledge on, like, CBT and DBT and stuff like that. So I feel like I have a good knowledge under my belt about being able to navigate having big feelings. But right now in treatment, I don't really have a lot of opportunities to practice those. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm ready. And I'm going through a housing program. And so they help you out to get started. So basically, once I graduate, I get to move into a new apartment and completely start fresh. They'll help out with the rent, and I can get my babies back. And, you know.
Oh, yeah. Did you feel confident the last time you got let out before your relapse?
No.
Did you kind of know in the back of your head that it was coming?
Yeah. When I was in psych and in rehab the first time, my mind was very much focused on getting back to my ex.
I did notice that. Yeah.
I thought, you know, we've been having problems for a while. Like, we didn't go to each other's family Christmases or anything. Like, we had been having a hard time. And, you know, the deal was, like, you go to rehab, like, get some help. I'll take care of things. And I thought, like, okay, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to go through the program. I'm going to go through rehab, and I'm going to come out, and he's going to love me. That's not what happened. Mm-hmm. In fact, it was quite cold-heartedly the opposite. I got out of treatment on Valentine's Day, and I could have stayed a couple more days, but I graduated that day, so I dipped because it was Valentine's Day, right? Mm-hmm. We've never had a good Valentine's Day. In all the years that we were together, we'd never had a good Valentine's Day. Typical, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Or birthday.
Yeah.
Or
Christmas.
Or Christmas. So I got out, and I got home. My parents came and picked me up. I got home around like 5:30 p.m. All I wanted was like pizza and to watch Dexter. And we were already like arguing because about what he wanted to cook for supper. And I was like, well, I've been in treatment for 2 months now. Like, I want pizza or something. I was like, fine, you can cook and I will order my own food because the fuck. Mm-hmm. That night, I was happy as a clam. I was very emotionally regulated, still on my meds. I had my 2 cats with me and I was watching my show, eating my pizza all night. I'm at work. I'm coming home. Oh, hey, sorry, I ended up having a beer after work with my buddy. I'm coming home. Sorry, this is taking so long. We're just talking. I'll be there soon. 2:30 in the morning, this man walks into our house drunk and high off of his ass, all apologetic. I'm sorry. Should I leave? Should I sleep on the couch? I was like, why would you leave? This is your home. Why would you sleep on the couch when we have a perfectly good bed downstairs? I was not allowing. I was like, if you came here looking for a fight, you're not going to get one.
Yeah.
Sit down. We're watching Dexter. Have a glass of water. Have a piece of pizza. And then the next day, he goes out, he gets me pity flowers and a teddy bear. He's like, I know it doesn't really mean the same thing now. I'm like, oh,
yeah, because it was discounted by 50%.
Yeah, and so then, trying to use all these skills that I learned, I tried to sit down and talk to him, and I was like, so what made you behave this way? What made you act like this? Where did this anxiety come from? Why didn't you just come home?
He probably was not ready for that mirror.
No. He was like, oh, no. And I was like, let's talk about this. Oh, no. And I'm like, okay, I'm giving you an open floor here, an open opportunity to tell me how you're feeling. And I'm already like, at this point, I still don't even know if we're in a relationship or not, if we'd broken up, but we're still having sex, right? So I don't know. And then he's like, sorry, blah, blah, blah. So I go back to doing laundry or whatever. He does it again that night. I said I'm going to make dinner, and he does it again. Comes home. Fucked up.
I'm assuming he also had addiction problems?
No, he's what we call a normie.
Okay.
So, he parties hard, but he works hard. That's the thing. Like, he can go out with his friends and he can party hard, but he always gets up for work in the morning.
But you can be a functioning addict.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a can of worms that he'd be willing to even look at.
Yeah.
So I never really brought it up. But, one thing that's different between the two of us is once I left dancing, I was not functioning. I was barely working. I was working at a dive bar like 2 or 3 days a week and then just doing nothing. So he has a huge community around him. And they say like the opposite addiction is connection. Like, they're really big on community and connection. It's like the best way to prevent a relapse, right?
Yeah.
He has solid friends that he's had since teenagers. He's really close with his family. He has a support, right? And he's always out with them. But I was never invited to come. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I was never allowed, So he'll go out and he'll go on party all weekend long, but he'll still make it to work the next day.
Yeah.
And still, It's
really hard to hit rock bottom when you're still being a functioning person in society.
Yeah.
And that's what I always thought about you, is that your addiction isn't harming anyone. I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it
started to
you.
really come out, hey?
Yeah. And I noticed it. And it's like, well, fuck, what do I say? Just stop drinking? Because usually you can be like, with my past friendships, it's like, hey, you're treating people wrong, or you said a very offensive thing. You aren't acting appropriately online or at work. You're not presenting yourself appropriately to even be making enough money to be feeding your dogs, your cats, or whatever. Usually there's a rock bottom, or they've done something that you can bring that up to. But when someone's dope, you're like, hey, you rascal!
You knocking
I'm
out
worried about you.
Really naughty.
Because you're still showing up, you're still doing great shows, you're still being really nice and supportive to everyone around you, and you had a lot of friends, and everyone liked you. It was very few and far between where someone doesn't like you, and that's kind of really anyone in this industry. There's going to be someone who doesn't like you, but that's mostly because of jealousy. But there was no one didn't like you because you're drinking. No one hated you because you're drinking. You never did anything when you were drunk that made people hate you. Mm-hmm. So it's what do you say to that person?
Yeah, right.
Oopsie poopsie, don't get so drunk.
It was so manageable, and it got to the point I was just a master Like, there was a lot of times that I was drunk. Like, and people didn't know that I was already half cut by that point in time.
Yeah.
You know? And one thing that, like, getting sober, one of the really hard realizations is how much time I've lost up here.
Yeah.
All the memories that have faded. Like, do you remember that time that I came over to your house, we made those TikToks, and, you know, there was a few of us here and everything? Yeah. I was hammered that day. You know, like, and I was going out and still just pretending to be normal, even though I'm like thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm so smart. I only drink vodka. Nobody can smell it. Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and another thing that really blew my mind was once I came, like, opened up, when I admitted I had a problem, the amount of people that were like, finally, was humbling.
Well, it's because, like, we were at this point. I was talking to Raina about it, honestly. I was like, I want to talk to her about it, but you never know. I've never seen you angry, and I've never expected you to freak out. But, like, if you don't go about it properly, especially with something I've never really dealt with, I have dealt with friends with addiction, but usually they've done something so shitty that I just have to stop talking to them. Yeah. I'm like, what if I bring it up to her and she freaks out, and then we lose our friendship because of that? So, like, there's that worry in your head because there's friendships that you don't want to lose. Sometimes you do lose friendships in addiction, and that's usually where it is. That's where the rock bottom is that you lose that friendship, and that's what makes you realize that it's not a good decision. But to bring it up to someone and then lose that friendship, it'd gut me. Yeah, especially when it comes to people that are in active addiction, especially when they don't even realize it yet, or they're just coming to realize it. You don't know how people are going to react. You don't know, especially like right now, we, this week in classes, we've been working on, you know, handling defense mechanisms. And when you tell somebody something they already know, one of those defense mechanisms can be aggression. Who the fuck are you? What the fuck do you know? Yeah. You don't know shit. I'm not that bad, blah, blah, blah. Look at this, look at that, you know? But, you know, as people slowly started to tell me I had a problem, I just kind of, because I'm a very, like, I'm assertive, but I'm a very passive person. You know, like, you're right, I don't get angry, hardly ever, except for when I drive. Yeah. And so a lot of the times when people told me, I felt more embarrassed than anything. So I'd always just usually be like, oh, I know. And kind of play it off, like minimalize it or like deflect it with humor. And then, you know, finally, like, even this is the second time around through treatment, I'm actually sharing about my journey and my struggles and where I'm at on, like, social media and more publicly with people. Honestly, that was very relieving to see, because I felt like that was the moment that you officially ditched the whole me and my ex will work out ideal, and that finally that ideal left your head, and you could realize, like, what was actually important wasn't doing it to get sober to have a good relationship. It was doing it to be sober, to live longer, to be around the people you love, to be a functioning person in society. All of these other reasons, and not needing that validation from him. And that validation from him was probably one of the worst addictions I've ever had. You know, attention is a bad addiction. I would say we broke up before Christmas, but, you know, we lived together until April. So, but he left in February. So I guess February would be when we, like, officially broke up, I guess. But it's been up until, like, now, you know, I've given his friends his stuff that I had of his, and I'm finding I do still have times where, you know, he crosses my mind, but it's in less of a dagger to the heart kind of way. Okay. Because I think I was holding on to a lot of regret for my behavior and resentment towards him. So being able to take accountability for the part that I played in the relationship and being able to accept that he's not going to is a very healing experience. And then just getting out into the world and finding yourself again. Like, I feel like myself again. Yeah. You know, like, I'm taking care of myself again. I'm making connections, like. And speaking of, like, connections, one of like the best things about you, and this is one thing that, like, I will never forget. Oh shit.
we're going to start off, like, when I was in the psych ward, you wanted to come and visit so many times. Like, it didn't work out, but there were some times where I'm just like, I'm going through med changes. They're trying to figure out what medications to keep me on. You know, there's other things going on in your life, so we never did. And then when I went to Henwood the first time, you offered to come visit. When I went to Henwood the second time, you offered to come visit. But during those 2 trips to rehab, when I was on that 2-month break, before I relapsed, you had reached out to me, and, you know, you told me that you were proud of me for my progress, you know, that you want to get together, that you missed me, that you were concerned about my drinking, you're glad I got help, and you told me that you will not hang out with me if I'm drinking. Mm-hmm. If I am under the influence, you will not hang out with me. And it's nothing against me as a person or against your beliefs, but it's just because you as a friend will not support me doing that to myself. Yeah. Because so many people would.
Yeah.
So many people would want the fun bar star bag, but you set that boundary firmly, and I respected the fuck out of you for that.
Well, thanks.
Like,
I was scared to put that boundary down, but like when someone has told me like, this is what I want, like I want to be sober, mm-hmm. like I'm going to take that to heart. I'm going to fucking take that to heart. You know, I'm not going to support something that you don't want. Even though you may be wanting it at the moment, it's not what you actually want.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and just for you to say that, and you've kept that word. Like you have reached out more than like anybody. Like even when I've been up and down and I don't answer or I cancel, like I'm at a place now where I'm feeling so much more regulated. But you never fucking gave up on me, bro.
Capricorn.
Like, you have been there. You have been checking in. You've been constantly asking to hang out. You're like, you gave me no reason to say no. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll come get you. I'll be there to pick you up. We can wear scrubby clothes and go do this. You know, even if we're just hanging out for like an hour or two to go to the thrift place or the flea market.
I've been really waiting to like, and excited to get to know the sober you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. It's been a long time. Like, right now I'm, I think, 106 days sober. So I'm past my 3-month mark. But in about 10 years, probably, because I'm 28 now, I have never made it to 4 months sober.
Okay.
I know that I'm in relapse territory right now, but I'm in a house. So I need to really focus on my triggers and how I'm feeling emotionally because, you know, when you hit milestones in recovery, it can be really hard because it can trigger pause, right? Post-acute withdrawal syndrome. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing good pause-wise, but I'm also in treatment. So I don't have that freedom to be in a place to get bored. So I will be in treatment, and I am going to hit 4 months sober for the very first time in my entire life, basically, since I started drinking and partying and stuff like that.
Wow. That's awesome.
It's crazy, yeah. And then it'll be 5 and 6 and so on and so forth.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited. And what you're going to like learn while you're bored is very important as well because that's where like passions come out and hobbies and everything and things you've wanted to learn, especially realizing that like your money doesn't have to go towards booze. Like it's very minor. I quit weed and that leaves me with like $120 extra a week. And I also quit Starbucks. So it's like $200 a week that I'm like, why is my grocery budget so big?
I have this app. It's I Am Sober.
Yeah. Does it show you how much you've saved?
Yeah.
Oh God.
So since my original sober date, which was December 30th, so not including my relapse, but with that date including now, $8,360 I have saved on alcohol and 355,300 calories.
Holy shit.
Isn't that crazy?
On average per day, how much would you drink?
About a 40 a day when things got bad.
A 40 is?
Like a liter.
Like a 2.6 is like this, right? A 2.6 is like this?
Size bigger than a 2.6.
So
we're looking at something more like this. A vodka every day. And that was, I'd also drink wine. And then, you know, if I was working, I'd be drinking behind the bar. Oh yeah, when I went to the hospital before the last time, I should say, my blood alcohol was at like an 83 or something like that.
Holy shit.
I even had the doctors and the nurses cracking up because I was like, that's like really bad. And they're like, that's bad. And I was like, ooh, because like the withdrawals hadn't kicked in yet. So I was just, mommy's little comedian.
How bad were they? Like, was it?
The withdrawals?
Yeah.
This last time around, actually, I got pretty lucky. The withdrawals weren't so bad. But the amount of times that I've withdrawed at home, because, my ex would be working out of town, and when he'd be coming back, I'd be like, okay, he's going to be back. I don't want to be too bad. So I'd like go through withdrawals at home a lot. And at home, it sucks. You're itchy, you're sweaty, the dreams. It's itchy. Very itchy. It's like when you get pepper up your nose and it makes you want to sneeze, imagine your skin feeling like that.
Fun.
Yeah, like it's itchy sweat and it's terrible. And then you will sleep for like half an hour and it felt like you've been sleeping for like 6 hours and only like 30 minutes have gone by.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm. And so all that, so that's really bad. But I've only been to detox twice, but I've detoxed many, many times. So this time it wasn't too bad. I was in the hospital and they had me hooked up to the IVs and stuff, which really helps a lot. And they woke me up, I was sleeping. I was in the waiting room for 8 hours. But I was still like having a good time, so they didn't take me very seriously. And so finally I'm KO'd. It's like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and the doctors come in and they're like, Dani, the ambulance is here to take you. And I'm like, take me fucking where? I thought I was going back to the psych ward. I was like, what do you mean? And so I went to detox, and I was only in detox for 3 days.
Okay.
And then I was straight into Henwood. So I got my relapse this last time was very short. It was very impactful, but it was very short-lived. So the withdrawals were not as bad this last time around.
I'm sure like the longer that you've been drinking and more dependent your body is.
Big time, yeah. Because there's like a lot of sugar in alcohol, and it eventually like the natural sugars that your body makes, I could be talking out my ass here, but I'm pretty sure this is correct. The natural sugars that your body makes, it stops producing them.
Yeah.
Because you're putting so much in. And so with your dopamine levels too. So let's say you have the best sex of your life.
I wish. I'm so lonely.
your dopamine levels only get up to about like 90, 97 between there. And I don't do meth, but we learned in rehab that the statistic for the way that your dopamine goes, it goes up to 1,400. So, and that's like the worst substance. So with alcohol and like the lower grade stuff, substances and everything, your dopamine is getting way into the high hundreds.
Yeah.
And to think that the best sex of your life only gets you to about under 100, how much that fucks with your brain chemistry.
Yeah.
So it takes a long time for your brain. They said that like it takes a couple years for your body to fully heal, especially like with alcohol.
I believe it. Like weed is such a minor substance, and I'm still feeling like it's been 6 or 7 months. I don't even know how long it's been, but it's been a long time, and I'm still like, when are the fucking side effects gonna stop?
Yeah.
Like holy hell! Like the dreams, the this, the that, like the appetite, all of it. I'm like, when the hormones, I did like things you didn't realize. I was like, why the fuck am my periods missing, or they're 2 weeks apart? Why don't I have a sex drive? Why am I breaking out? It's all linked to the weed, and I'm like, weed? I didn't even think that.
Yeah, because it's natural and everything, right? But at the end of the day, it still alters your brain. So people can argue about that in the comments if they want, but weed is a drug.
It is a drug, and doing too much of anything is bad for you. And like, there was even a point in my life where I was drinking too much water to the point where it was super bad for me. And I didn't realize it until I went in for like a pee test, a urinalysis, and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We thought you just poured water in this. Like, that's so bad for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, but I thought water couldn't do me wrong. It's natural.
Yeah, no. It's everything needs to be taken like in moderation, right? And at the correct measures for sure. So another big thing is like my body feels so much healthier.
I was gonna say, what do you notice like in your body?
I've gained so much weight. That's the one thing that really sucks and it's very normal in early recovery to have weight gain. So I'm working on it, but I'm like, it'll fluctuate. So there's that. My skin. When I look back at pictures of when it was really bad, I had like jowls. Like you get tomcat face because alcohol will swell up your
lymph nodes.
Lymph nodes, yeah, they'll sit right here. I looked like fucking quagmire. Dead ass. And my skin was like gray. It was bad. And I thought I looked hot shit still. And I look back at those pictures and I'm like, I am embarrassed to exist. Like, it was so bad. Like when I dyed my hair bright red when I was on a bender. Oh my God, when I sobered up for the first time after that and I looked in the mirror, I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, what have I done? Like there was like, oh my gosh. The one thing, like, don't fuck with your image when you're on a bender. Yeah. You're not gonna like it when you sober up. And, you know, I noticed, like, my sleep is good. I don't break out as much. My hair is, like, looking healthier. I just got it, like, done and cut yesterday, so it's a little fluffy. But everything, you know? And you just think so much clearer. It is really difficult, though, to get, like, for me personally, I very much struggle with connection in recovery. Because I don't fucking trust anybody.
I think stripping does that to you too.
It really does, and you know, and so does recovery. Like I'm such a skeptical protector of my peace now.
Yeah.
That, you know, I've had a hard time like finding a home group or a sponsor or like fitting in the fellowship. But I did actually find a meeting that I went to yesterday, and I think I found my people. Okay. I walk in, this meeting's huge, but there's a bunch of bikes out front. And
everyone looks like a criminal.
Everybody looks like a criminal, right? I was like, everyone's tatted up. The women there were all so cool. I was like, I know a former baddie when I see one. Yeah. You know, and I was like, I talked to the chair guy there, and I told him, I was like, I live in an all-woman's house. You know, I don't really feel like I have a community. I don't have a sponsor. I don't have a home group. He's like, I fucking hate half the people here. He's like, I only fuck with like 4 of these people. And I was like... So he's like, give me a month. He's like, you come back every Monday for a month, and I guarantee you'll want to stay here. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, cool, I will. But it was cool. I went by, and it's always like I just went out of the blue by myself because all the other girls were going to like a meeting, and they're all like Ubering and taking the bus there, and I'm just like, I don't like to invite myself to things. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna get in my car and drive to my own meeting then.
But sometimes it's good to like find your own way and what works for you.
Yeah, and
for everyone.
I'm graduating soon. You know, I need to start preparing my life on the outside. Mm-hmm. And by doing that, that means like going out and seeing my friends in the real world and going to meetings that I like in the real world, right?
Yeah.
Because in the house, it's a house, a gorgeous house called the dollhouse.
It does look like a dollhouse.
Right?
Yeah. When I pulled up, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know, right? Or an orphanage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always look at the house, I'm like, my life has come full circle. So, but yeah, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous house, and it's huge, but it is a treatment center. Mm-hmm. It's not home.
Yes. And like with that and knowing that, there's a sense of having to be professional. Mm-hmm. And like get along with everyone and do the treatment and everything. So it is important to also find yourself in there and not just go along with everyone and what they're doing. Because like just because what they're doing is proper, it might not be suited for your personality.
Absolutely. And you know, one thing that I've really, really excelled in is like being very outspoken and setting boundaries. Mm-hmm. I have my opinion and I stand on it. You know, like I don't switch up just because the majority is. And I've seen a few issues where I'm just sitting there with my mouth shut and I'm just like this. Like the switch up is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm learning to do that too in everyday life, and it's like actually fucking wild how. Mm-hmm.
And pick your battles too, right? Sometimes nothing needs to be said.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just like I said, you just skeptical protector of your peace. Like is me saying this gonna be like worth, are they going to be receptive? Is it worth it? is this even necessary information that needs to be shared?
Oh God, I sense that so off. Yeah, I have a story to tell you later.
Oh, later?
Yeah,
okay.
later. Can't be on the podcast. Okay, so let's end this podcast. I wish we could talk longer. Honestly, this is such a good conversation, but I have to fucking go to work because I'm the first show. So what advice would you give to a stripper who feels like they are falling down the hole of addiction?
You need to tell on yourself. Mm-hmm. You need to find somebody that you can talk to about it.
Because we see you already. We
see you.
Yeah, your friends see you. You're not hiding it.
And the people that are with you, you got to understand in dancing that not everybody is actually your friend and has your best interest there. And you know what? You need to make a plan. If you need to take a break from dancing, that's okay, because guess what? It'll still be there when you come back.
Yep. With open arms.
Mm-hmm. And it is a job that you can do sober.
Yeah.
Lots of girls do it.
I do it sober all the time. Mm-hmm. Almost every freaking night. I'm actually not drinking until I hit 200K on TikTok.
That's what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and it's easy, honestly.
Yeah. Reach out for help. Mm-hmm. Don't try to do it alone because everybody sees you. Just reach out. Yeah. It's that simple. And girls, they're not going to judge you because you even said yourself, a girl hates to see the stripper go down that road.
Yes. Most of us do hate that. Like, we don't, especially like with the clubs that are more up there and more professional, we don't want to see people fail.
Yeah.
We want to see them do better. And yeah, telling people, letting people know where you are in your recovery and where you want to be will also help people be more supportive of your choices.
Yeah.
And pointing them out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Buckley, can you just... Okay, so be safe, wear a condom, tip your dancers, be considerate, be compassionate. Everyone's going through something different. And it's a lot different with the stripping stigma nowadays. Everyone thinks we're drunk and on coke all the time, and it's actually, most of us are pretty sober, and it can be a very loving situation, and everyone in the change room has gone through something themselves, so I think it is very important to be talking to your fellow strippers.
And I was drunk and on coke outside of the strip club, so it's not just strippers.
It's like, it's all the customers. They give us the bad name.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to head off to Shade. She's going to head back to home. I'm going to drop you off.
Sure, yeah. Back to the hab.
Back to the hab. Wear a condom, wear a helmet, tip your dancer, tip your wait staff. Be nice. Bye.
Kind always.